Hello and welcome to the Brick Shack. So today I thought I'd bring you a tour of the Brick Shack. So let's get into it. So it has been a while since I've shown you what the Brick Shack looks like. So starting off, we of course have the quite large city here that we just completed not too long ago. Now this is obviously the main attraction of the Brick Shack. And if you haven't seen it, we did a 6-part series building this city completely from scratch. So if you think you might be interested in that, go have a look on my channel at the other videos and you'll see the series there in a playlist. But we spent about 2 months doing this city. We spent quite a lot of time and obviously money on this city. Now a lot of the modulars I did have previously before starting the city. I did have quite a lot of those on shelves and I just think they look much better in this city format. And that was always the reasoning behind doing a city, because I had all these modulars on the shelves and I just thought they'd look so much better in a city. So then started the city series, and what a blast that was. That series has done extremely well on the channel, so I'm glad all you guys like that series. There will be more series in the future, so stay tuned for those. And of course there will be city updates when stuff changes to the city in the future. But other than the large city here on the table, which is all custom built by the way, all of these shelves and of course the tabletop is all custom built. We then have these 1 to 8 scale Technic cars, as well as some smaller ones, I believe maybe 1 to 10 scale. So we have quite a few of the older ones here. We also have a non-Lego one down here, as well as the quite large series of Technic cars here. We don't have the Ferrari Daytona yet, as that did just release, so I'm going to wait on that for it to drop down in price. But we do however have this Carder Ferrari, which is also a really good build. And even though it's not Lego, the piece quality is pretty good for the price you pay for these. And then over towards the right hand shelf, we just have some more here, like I believe the 1 to 10 scale, if I'm not mistaken, the Ferrari and the Porsche, as well as the Land Rover Defender. And we also have a Ford GT40, which is also a replica set, it's not real Lego. So we have 3 non-Lego cars there. We have the GT40, we have the Ferrari Pista, and we have the Audi R8. But I think those all fit in with the real Lego ones just fine, and you really can't tell that they're an off-brand. So I do have 1 space left and I'm saving that for the Ferrari Daytona. So I'll probably move the Pista somewhere else, just so we have a collection of all the Lego 1 to 8 scale cars there. So that pretty much sums up that side of the room. But further up, we do have some of these shelves here, as well as these glass cabinets. So starting with the shelves, we have quite a lot of Lego cars. Now you may be wondering, why is it all cars? Well, I'm quite a car enthusiast myself, so I absolutely love anything cars. So we have quite a few real Lego ones there, as well as some off-brand cars. And really, don't knock the off-brand until you try it. I was always against off-brand before. But if you find the right brands, the piece quality is pretty good for what it is, and it's very close to Lego. Now, of course, Lego will always be my favourite and get my most support, but really, some of these off-brand toys are really not bad at all. And it's also nice to have sets that aren't as common, as these aren't real Lego sets. And then above that we have the display cabinets, and as you can see, it's not Lego, but there are quite a lot of Hot Wheels and Matchbox die-cast cars in those. And that's just another thing I love to collect alongside Lego, is these Matchbox and Hot Wheels cars. Although I don't buy so many these days, as I do have quite a lot in my collection. But we don't just have 3 of those, we actually have 9 in total around the whole room, and we'll get to that shortly. But for the back wall, as you enter the door, this is the wall you look at. So for the back wall, we have another 3 of these Hot Wheels display cabinets, as well as a shelf below with more cars, with some shelves on the right, as well as above. So starting on the right here, we have quite a few Mustangs and muscle cars, as well as a few classics down below on this shelf. And then further up, we have a couple Ferraris. And then we have the Porsches above that, as well as the camper vans. And then if I get a bit closer, I can actually show you some of what's inside these Hot Wheels cars, if any of you are interested in that. So these are all organised as well, they're not just randomly placed. So all manufacturers are in their own zones, like here we have Jeep. And then below we just have this large shelf, which actually follows the whole way around the perimeter of the room. And that just creates so much space to display models. So it's quite a mix between Japanese cars, old cars, supercars. I'm into all of that, so that's what I collect. And then further up we have the motorbikes here, and then you might just about be able to see more cars on top of there. And also another feature of this room is at the top here along the back wall, we do have the Sopwith camel plane. It's quite hard to see because this light is quite bright, but we do have the Sopwith camel hanging from the ceiling, and I think that looks absolutely great hanging there. Now eventually I would like to get some posters or something to go up here because it is looking a bit plain, but that's something for the future. But then for the left side, it's pretty much the same as where the city is on that side, except it doesn't have the table below for the city. And on this shelf, I don't have any Lego sets here simply because, well, I just don't have enough, which is quite surprising as I do own quite a lot. But for now, until I get a display cabinet for these, I do put my 1/24 scale cars along here. I think they look good here for now until I get a glass cabinet for those. And then of course, we have even more Hot Wheels here. I believe I have about 900 Hot Wheels cars in total, which is honestly quite ridiculous. But once you buy one, you just can't stop buying them. And then for the front wall where the doors are here, and please excuse those because they do need a bit of restoration work. But above the door, we have this large shelf, which is pretty much replicated from the opposite side. Now there is nothing on there at the moment because I just don't have anything to put up there. Then above that, we have this pop art here. And that's actually a rebrickable model. And that uses 2 of the Marilyn Monroe art sets to build that. And I just think that looks absolutely great there above the door. And then again, I would like something either side of that, just so it's not so empty and just white up there. But then to the left of the door, we do have 2 signs here. We have this sign you might recognise, that was a gift with purchase. Now unfortunately, I didn't get this as a gift with purchase because I didn't spend enough at that time. So I did have to buy this off of eBay, but I still think it was worth it, as this looks absolutely brilliant here. And then we just have this custom thing here, made out of some pieces onto a base plate stuck to the wall. So for the floor space, we do have the pieces here. This is where I keep all of my parts. And this is actually going to change very soon. But there is a different way of storing pieces that I've seen online, and that is to buy Alex straws from IKEA and store them into trays into those. And I just think that's a bit of a cleaner look. But this works fine for now, so I can't really complain about that. Now while I'm here, I do want to mention that you might have seen the facades in the background of the city. Some are missing. Well, they're not actually sticking very well, so I'm going to have to redo those. So that explains why the city is looking the way it does now about the facades. But then moving left from the door as we come in, we see the coffee table as well as the sofa. Now 2 cushions for the sofa are missing at the moment, but they will be down here eventually. And currently on the coffee table, I am building the BMW motorbike. And I'm really surprised how big of a build that is. Look at the size of these tyres. So that's going to be a massive model to display. And then what I'm thinking when that is built is up here above the door. I think I'll put all the motorbikes there, central below that pop art there. But then opposite the sofa, we do have the TV here. And this is just great to have opposite the sofa while I'm building some Lego sets or just chilling and relaxing, watching some TV. And then down here, these are temporary, but we do have these 2 fans here because it just gets unbelievably hot down here in the summer. So we do need some way to cool it down. But that pretty much sums everything up of the Brick Shack. That is a complete tour. We have the city here. We have all of the shelves with the Hot Wheels as well. And that goes all the way around the whole room for a total of 9 cabinets. And one thing I want to keep with the Brick Shack is that all the shelves contain cars or bikes or some sort of vehicle. So sets like Big Ben, Tower Bridge, Medieval Blacksmith, any sort of buildings like that, they will go into the main house, as I do think it looks good down here keeping it all car themed. But that pretty much sums everything up. That is the complete tour of the Brick Shack. Some of the Brick Shack still needs a little bit of work, like the doors need restoring, but I think it's coming along quite well and I'm really happy with the way it's looking. So I hope you've all enjoyed today's video, but that's all for now and I'll see you all later.